beautiful, beautiful downtown Anchorage, Alaska. Chugach Mountain Range. I discovered the coolest area of graffiti, but I want to share with you what I'm looking at and what a magnificent evening it is. The volcanoes are out visible. Mount McKinley, I did record that earlier. It's really fading into the background right now as civil twilight lessens, and I'll probably end up leaving here soon. I see a lot of people with cameras. It's so gorgeous out right now. Extraordinarily cold. I've got one hand, let's see, can you see me? So hanging onto the selfie stick, I've got one gloved hand. Hopefully my phone will do okay. And then in my other pocket, a hand warmer, but it is beautiful. Let me show you. Mount McKinley is fading into the background as the sun continues to lower. Look at this amazing, beautiful graffiti. Isn't it absolutely gorgeous? Look at this. Now, I have not examined it closely, so if there's anything questionable, I am so sorry. Look at this. Isn't this absolutely magnificent? Isn't it so cool? I love graffiti. That'd be a good thumbnail. I should stop and get one. Hold on. So I was down walking along the coastal trail and I found the coolest graffiti behind me. I had no idea that this was here. In fact, I actually thought it was a tunnel that went somewhere. But when I came down around here, I saw all of this fantastic graffiti, which is like the most awesome discovery. Look at how cool it looks. I love the layers and the colors of graffiti, which is really interesting because actually in my own home, I like deeper, darker colors and not necessarily quite so bold. But look at how absolutely cool this is. I feel like this is the most awesome discovery. Like I want to come down here and have a photo shoot. Isn't this absolutely awesome? Oh, I want to come down here and do more photos. I love it. Look how cool it looks. I love the colors. I just love graffiti. You know, I have all of these like fantasy home designs. I want a dragon on top of my house. If I find a picture of this home, it's in Sussex, England, called the Dragon House in Belgrove. Belgrove Farms, I believe is the name of it. And they have got the coolest metal dragon on their home, and honestly, I would absolutely love that. That would be a fantasy. Then I would also love to have a very industrial home and have it absolutely covered in graffiti. Yeah. I have a lot of different sides to me. I bet like if you're a creative person, you're probably that way too. So while I'm walking uphill right now, I might pant. You know, surprisingly, we have not had a lot of snow here in Anchorage. So last year we had over 11 feet of snow. We are in January and we have had barely any snow at all. It's crazy, which I hope means we will not have a lot of fires because we can actually have quite a few fires here. But I had come down here to record a video. The day absolutely got away from me today. I was really busy. And I thought, oh, I'll go down by the water. But the lighting was not good at all. I like the sound of the snow. You know, I was thinking too, it's about the time when the moose will probably be on the move, so we may be able to take a look at a moose here. I'm trying to find what I did with my other hand warmer. I'm going to show you Anchorage right now. It's very, very beautiful out. I think tomorrow's Saturday. I want to get out kind of early. Let's go walk around here. This is one of my favorite spots. I filmed a couple of videos in here. Sometimes I feel like my vlogs, like my methodology is going to be a vlog about nothing. What is it? Wasn't it Jerry Seinfeld? Was it his, it was a TV show about nothing? Just kind of random stuff. But it is very, very beautiful. I'm going to set us up. I want to show you Anchorage. How I came up with my word of the year, abundance, really came from the after effects of attending a Tony Robbins seminar. And it was really wonderful. So the seminar I attended was called Unleash the Power Within. We went through a series of workshops and challenges where all of those of us who attended had to get really real about the things that we tell ourselves, or beliefs that we have, or things that we think about ourselves that are absolutely not productive at all. And it was really impactful. We have these patterns in our lives that we know are not beneficial to us, and they come from a deeper belief. You know, it's what you think, what you know, what you believe. You know, a lot of people will self-sabotage, and it's like, okay, so that may be a pattern. Like, you may self-sabotage, say, for example. But you make a decision because you say, well, I don't want to keep self-sabotaging. I know at the end of the day, this is not good for me at all. So you make a decision, okay, I've got to stop self-sabotaging. Well, you typically will go back to the same pattern. And a lot of times, if people don't make a compelling enough decision to never go back, you will inevitably go back to your older patterns, because the brain likes repetition, and the brain knows what it knows. And also, one thing that Tony Robbins taught, and I've done cognitive therapy, which was one of the best things I've ever done. It was absolutely powerful and impactful, because when you do cognitive therapy, you're getting down to your deeper beliefs. So the way that Unleash the Power works, the whole kind of premise for that 4-day, 50-hour event is getting you to absolutely demolish limiting beliefs. And as Tony Robbins says, he's like, everybody has their own favorite flavor of suffering. What's yours? And it was really challenging because it forces you to get real. And most of us know what our issues are, right? Like, I was thinking, okay, so for example, so the whole premise for that conference was, you have a pattern, you want to make a decision to change that pattern in your life. And because the decision to make the change isn't compelling enough, they call it the dance. So like, you end up going back to your old ways, even though you recognize that maybe something you're doing in your life is not beneficial. Like, I was just thinking about, say, like self-sabotage. A lot of people will self-sabotage their success. Oh, here comes the plane. The planes are up really, really high today. Woo, it's cold. Oh, my bangs are looking crazy. So say self-sabotage, for example, like if you're somebody who self-sabotages, well, there's a part of you that knows that that's not good, because there's things that you want to do in your life, but maybe you have a fear of success, you have a fear of failure, maybe you don't believe you're worthy enough to do something, so you self-sabotage. But there's a part of you that also knows that this is not helping you. and you want to make a decision to stop self-sabotaging. It's so cold out, guys. My lips are numb. It's probably like 0 degrees out right now and it's windy. So you make that decision, but then you end up going back to the old patterns because the brain loves always loves to go back to what it knows. And in order to make a change in what you think, believe, or know about yourself, it requires effort, and actually quite a bit of effort. And I'll share more in other vlogs because it really is fascinating. So anyway, so you have a pattern, say like self-sabotage, for example, and you want to make a decision to change it. But because that decision's not compelling enough, you kind of maybe always flip back and forth. Well, then they teach, and this is what cognitive therapy does. Well, then you have to go down to the lower level, which is, well, what is your identity? Maybe you self-sabotage because you feel you're not worthy, or you don't think you're good enough. So it happens when you film a video off of the edge of an airport. Well, then you have to go down even a layer lower. And what is driving your identity? Is it a limiting belief or an empowering belief? And we all have them, we all have them in one way or another. And as Tony Robbins says, everybody has their own favorite flavor of suffering. So we all have that. And they teach you, and they do it's a wide range of techniques that they use to help you go down and rewire. And it was really fascinating. And they make you like name your limiting beliefs. And we had to pick 3. And then write out the reasons like why you think you're not worthy. Say if it's unworthiness, like you have to write down like, why am I not worthy? Well, but then you actually have to really look at the truth is, are you worthy? Well, of course you are. Absolutely. And so you identify your limiting beliefs, and then you go and you rewrite them. I'm so numb. You rewrite them with empowering beliefs. And then he took us through all these different ways. Like he had us say our limiting beliefs in like a whiny way. So say if like it's unworthy, he's like, now say it like a baby. I'm unworthy. Okay, now, and then he had us like rephrase it, right? Like I am worthy. I'm powerful. I have intrinsic value. I'm God's child. I'm loved, whatever it is. And I did record my experiences after the Tony Robbins, each night after the seminar that I am going to have post at the end of January, and where I go into a little more detail about it. But it was absolutely powerful and life-changing. Now, from that time, from going through that conference, crushing limiting beliefs, and they also teach you too, because you can go to a conference like that, identify your limiting beliefs, rewrite new ones, and they do all these different things to help you kind of rewire the brain, but then you actually have to go home and practice it. Because of course the brain, because if we go back to the original patterns and your decisions to change, well, your brain is always going to want to go back to what's familiar, what it knows. So you have to, he's like, now when you leave the conference, you've been empowered, but now your old ways are going to want to try to come back. But here are techniques that you could do to rewire your brain and to begin to operate from an empowering place versus the limiting belief place. It was so good. It was really absolutely amazing. And when we did the priming experience, and I've talked a little bit about that in some of my videos, I will link down Tony Robbins. His priming technique was born out of a desire to want to meditate, but he really struggled with meditation. So he came up with this priming exercise, and it teaches you to go in to your memory and conjure up all of these incredible things in your life. Here is a juvenile bald eagle. See it right here? I accidentally minimized our screen, so I'm not sure how much we got it. Oh, it's right above me. Oh no, it's not a juvenile. It's a full bald eagle. Oh, maybe we'll see it again. Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on. Okay. Oh, it's riding the wind currents. Oh, anyway. Okay. I'm trying to, let me show you how much light we have left. It's not much. But what was I saying before I saw that bird? But yeah, so your brain always wants to go back. Oh, abundance. That's right. Tony Robbins, abundance. And so this priming exercise that we have, he teaches you to go in and conjure up, like, you have all of these amazing experiences throughout your life. And that priming exercise teaches you to go into and remember and bring forward from your mind all of the beautiful things in your life. And that's what he said. Once we did that first priming experience, it was so beautiful. I'm so numb. He was like, now he's like, that helps you to not operate from your scarcity side, but your abundance mindset. So not the scarcity mindset, but the abundance mindset, and that you have within you abundance, which I absolutely loved. There's a lynx right here. Holy cow. Okay, Lord Jesus, I'm going to go ahead and go. Hold on. Okay. There was just a biker and a dog. Oh my gosh, you guys, that just like literally gave me a heart attack. Oh Lord. Oh my word. Okay, you guys, well, let me finish that mindset. Wow, that like kind of scared me. Oh, there it is. I'm gonna go down to my car, you guys. I'm getting in my car. Oh, like, oh my gosh. I don't want to tangle with a wildcat, you know what I mean? Okay, well, that was more excitement than I want to have. Wow, okay, that gave me a start. Wow, they're kind of big. I've actually never seen one in real life. Like, I wish I could see where it went to, but let me show you what I'm looking at. So there's a hill, so where I'm parked down, it's really, the car's kind of dirty, but see, this hill goes up, so I actually can't quite see. So videos there before. I did my do what you want now video in that space, and there were little squirrels there. Yeah, so that lynx is on the prowl. Okay. We were talking about, well, you know, and it's so funny too. So my brain is like processing, because while we were recording earlier, just before that lynx passed by, a biker and a couple of dogs went by. So when I saw that shape go by me, I thought it was a dog. Okay, well, anyway, so Tony Robbins, abundance mindset. So that's where my word abundance came from, was from that conference. And doing the priming exercise reminded me of just, you know, because my family and I, we went through about, well, it's been about 9 years ago, but about 9 years ago, my family and I went through kind of like a major life change. You know, I would like to say that my life at that time was humming along very predictably, and then just a series of events unfolded that just completely changed everything. Now, all these years later, I can say that I am so thankful for the experience because of the perspective and the empathy and compassion. You know how it is when you go through something difficult, you gain a lot of sympathy, empathy, and compassion. And so for that, I'm so thankful. But at the time, it was really tough. And it was just a very interesting experience and a tough one, but we're on the other side of it. And I think when you go through really hard times, and especially when you know, you'll have that time where like you're in survival mode. And so when that big kind of life change event happened, and it hit like several different categories of life for us, we had about 2 years of survival. And I love Mel Robbins, and she talked about like when you go through a crisis, it could be anything, a divorce, a death, major life change, like something hard and difficult. You know, it could be you're diagnosed with an illness or cancer or something, you know, you go into survival mode. And then after that, after you're done in survival, then you go through a period, and she called it languishing. And so for us, when this burning, we called it the burning of the prairie, happened in our lives, it was about 2 years of survival of like, wow, pretty much everything that was predictable isn't anymore. But you know, God was so good to my family too during that time. He's been so good to me, so good to my family. He took us through, you know, the darker times. Like, you know, if you're a person of faith, you know, Psalm 23, you walk through the valley of the shadow of death. You know, when you walk through those really, really hard times, of course, God promises to be with you, and he was absolutely with us. But we had survival. Then we had several years of kind of languishing because our lives had changed so much. It was like, I don't know what the future looks like. And when you go through really tough times, I wish I would have known how to prime, is what I'm saying, because I could have reminded myself of all of the amazing things. Because I think when you're in survival mode, or then you're kind of languishing and you're not really sure what the future looks like, it's just difficult. But within us, we have so much goodness that we have the ability to conjure up through using this priming exercise. And anyway, it was very, very powerful. So those are my thoughts for today. But anyway, okay, I did indeed have a mini heart attack because I don't want to get attacked by a wildcat because they're predators. You know, it's interesting. Like when I ran around, I don't know how well you could see it, but it like kind of crouched down and looked at me. And it was not, in fact, it was not afraid of me. Like I was like, if this is the fence, I was set up right near the fence, and it walked like, and it easily, guys, it easily could have taken that little path and come right up behind me. Oh, thank God. Oh, Lord Jesus. Woo. Okay. Well, I'm safe in my car. I hope you have a wonderful morning or afternoon or evening. It's been an eventful night. I'm going to go home and get ready for family night and settle in. And until the next video, bye.